It's time to cook with Susan Beck. Today we're going to wrap up our rice cooker series with video number 6. I thought dessert would be a great way to finish off this series of videos in which I use my rice cooker. If you haven't been watching my videos, you will be able to look back at the links that I will post below. But we have done brown rice, we have done white rice, we have done fish, we have done hard-boiled eggs, and we have steamed vegetables in this rice cooker throughout this series. So today we're going to make rice pudding. I have warmed some milk. I have a half a cup of milk that I put into my microwave for 40 seconds. We have sugar, vanilla, 1 large egg. We will be using a pinch of salt and some raisins and cinnamon. Raisins could be left out. The recipe originally called for the cinnamon to be used as a garnish on the top at the end, but I'm going to put it right in. All right, now one other key ingredient. We have to have rice if we're going to make rice pudding. This time, our rice cooker is not going to be cooking the rice. It did that the other day when I had leftovers. So this recipe is to use leftover rice. We are going to be putting our ingredients into a bowl. We're going to start by putting in the egg and 2 tablespoons of sugar, a pinch of salt, and 3/4 teaspoons of vanilla. These ingredients need to be whisked together before we add the others. I'm actually going to put in my cinnamon at this time as well. So I got 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, or just a couple pinches of that to enhance the flavor of the rice a little bit. So I'm going to whisk that all together so that the eggs are beat up well and the salt, sugar, and cinnamon are evenly spread between. Ooh, I can smell the cinnamon. I just love cinnamon in my rice pudding. Might still put some on as a garnish at the end too. All right, into that will go 2/3 cups of leftover rice. So this is a great way if you serve rice and you don't use it all to finish it off. So there goes the rice. And then we're going to use 1 tablespoon of raisins in our rice pudding. All right, and we will stir. Now this is not going to make a large batch of rice pudding. We do not have a lot of room in the baking dish. Now I'm noticing because my rice is left over, I do have to break it up a little bit. I kind of want to do that so that all the pieces of rice are coated with my egg mixture. Kind of flatten with my spoon a little bit. Clunk, clunk, clunk goes my spoon. All right. Now, my rice cooker came with directions to do this, and it said that I was to put 6 little custard cups into the steaming tray. Well, I found that that was nearly impossible. I couldn't even get 2 of them to fit. So I came up with a different plan to use one of my little glass dishes that will sit nicely in my steamer tray. I just realized my milk is still sitting here. I need to also stir my warm milk. Remember, I put that into the microwave before starting the video for 40 seconds, half a cup of milk into my container. All right, so I am going to now put my rice pudding into this bowl, and it happens to fill it perfectly. Now, this would maybe be enough for 2 people to have a small serving, so this is not something that you would be making if you were having company. All right, into the bottom of the rice cooker, the aluminum pan, goes 1 cup of water. We'll set that inside. Put the steamer pan on top, the same place I put my eggs when I hard-boiled them in my video, and where I put my vegetables when I'm steaming those, and where I put my fish. So in goes my container, and I found this one works well because my lid still fits. Because the rice cooker, it's really about building the steam and the heat in there. So if I have a gap in my lid, it just doesn't work. And that's where I found the custard cups that I own just were not working out. All right, I'm going to plug my appliance in, push down the little button here to cook. And it should take about 25 minutes for this to cook. All right, my rice cooker just went from cooking to warm. You can usually hear it pop when you're doing things around the house. You don't have to stand right next to it, and it's okay for it to sit on warm for a while. All right, I am supposed to check that this is done when making a custard. So I'm going to take this knife and insert it into the rice pudding and custards. Test them with a knife. Okay, my knife came out nice and clean without any rice, any milk, any eggs sticking to it, so that tells me that it's done. This is very warm though, so I want to lift it out carefully, and I'm going to try to get a pot holder on each side of it and just set it over here to cool for a bit. And that is our rice pudding. Okay, we just completed a lovely rice pudding here that we'll sample in a minute. In the meantime, we're going to make a second dessert in our rice cooker that has some similar ingredients. This time, instead of cinnamon, we'll be using nutmeg. We still have vanilla, a pinch of salt, some eggs, sugar, milk, but it's going to be a caramel custard this time. So to get this started, we will be mixing in our bowl 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk. So let's just start with that egg into our mixing bowl. Now I only want the yolk this time, so I am going to crack open my egg and use the 2 shells and go back and forth so that I end up with just the egg inside this shell, and that's going to go in here, and the whites can be saved for something later like meringue. All right, next a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 and 2. We will use our whisk and mix this together. We want to get those eggs broken up and incorporate our other dry ingredients with the egg. The next part of this recipe will require me to use the stove. So this is a little bit more complicated than the rice pudding was, where everything just got dumped into the bowl and put into the rice cooker. For this, I will be scalding milk. Scalding milk means to just bring it like to a boil and get it to a really, good bubbling point on the stove, and then just turn it off. That hot water is going to be added to 2 more tablespoons of sugar that I am going to cook on the stove. I'm going to have to stir and watch this constantly because I do not want this to burn to the bottom of my pan. For one thing, it would be really a pain to clean up. So I just want to melt the sugar and get it to a golden brown. I'm going to add a few drops of water to that sugar to help prevent some of that possible burning. So a couple drops of water. I just used my half teaspoon to do that. All right, moving to the stove. All right, I have my sugar with a little bit of water in it. I'm going to start that in a minute. First, I'm going to scald my milk. So into my saucepan goes my half a cup of milk. And I'm going to put that on my small burner on medium heat. And I think I want to get that pretty close to scalded before I start my sugar. My concern is that I might burn the sugar, boil the milk way past its scalding point, and have a bit of a disaster on my hands here. So let's get this milk cooking. Both of these things take some stirring, so that's another reason to not try to do both of them at once. Alright, that milk is warming right up. I don't quite have bubbles in it yet though, so I wouldn't say it's quite been scalded yet. A good simmer will have some nice bubbles. It doesn't have to be rolling with bubbles like you would with a boil. So now that that's getting close, I am going to go ahead and start my sugar. Again, I'm going to use this burner in the back, and I am going to keep a close eye on the sugar because melting it will quickly go from a nice little pale yellow to a bright gold to a brown to boom, it's black and it's burnt. And burnt sugar does not taste very good at all. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Let's give my milk a quick stir. I'm not too worried about combining my little bit of sugar that might have stuck to my spoon because these two ingredients are going to be mixed together very, very shortly. Alright, that milk has got some bubbles around the edge. It's steaming really well. I am going to turn my heat to off on the milk. The sugar over here, not much is happening yet. It's starting to melt, but everything is still clear in color. Okay, we are starting to get a color change. If you watch any of my science videos, you know I talk a lot about chemical changes. Anytime we get a color change going on, something's happening. I'm also starting to turn brown very, very quickly, so it's not quite dissolved, but I think I'm going to move it off the heat. I really do not want to burn this caramel. And the biggest reason I don't want to burn this is for cleanup purposes. This, as long as I don't burn it, will clean up very easily with a little hot water. All right, it's all brown, it's golden brown, and that's going to be the caramel for the caramel custard. We're now to pour the hot milk directly into the caramel and stir until the sugar dissolves. It's going to bubble and fizz a bit. That's okay. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and it will take a little stirring to get that caramel or melted sugar off the bottom. As you can see, the milk is not so bright white anymore because it has picked up the caramel color from the sugar. Our milk and sugar that was made into a caramel for caramel custard is sitting here now. That needs to cool for a bit. Anytime you have something extremely hot and you want to add it to an egg mixture like this one, you will end up with like scrambled eggs if you put that hot mixture into here right away. So we're going to take a 5-minute break and let that milk mixture cool. Let's take that milk mixture now and pour it into our eggs and sugar. Pinch of salt in there as well, and give it a stir. Oh good, my eggs are not cooking. That's really kind of not a very pleasant dessert if you have scrambled eggs in the middle of it. Okay, so we just have a nice yellow golden kind of color here. Now, as I mentioned when we were doing the rice pudding a minute ago, that my container really didn't hold any custard cups, so I am going to use another one of my glass storage containers that I just store in my drawer with my Rubbermaid containers, and pour this into that bowl. Okay, that fits perfectly. Oops, I gotta put the water in my steamer, in the top of my steamer here. But first I need 1 cup of water into the aluminum pan of my rice cooker. Then we'll put the steaming pan on top, one with the little holes in it that we put our vegetables in sometimes, and our caramel custard. Put our lid on, put our plug-in into the wall, and turn it on. Now this should take about 20 minutes to make this caramel custard, and then we'll have 2 great desserts to sample. Oh, I almost forgot. We're supposed to shake a little nutmeg on the top. Gotta add our spices. We're getting close to done. You can see the steam rising, the vapor on the inside of the lid, and the custard is definitely starting to set up. It's not a liquid anymore, so my little gauge down here should be popping from cooked to warm quite soon. All right, our caramel custard is finished. I'll take the lid off of that. Just like with the rice pudding, we check by inserting our knife, and everything came out clean, so we are ready to remove this. Again, it's very hot, so I'm going to try to use a pot holder here to take it out. That worked quite well. Now a custard, I should be able to cut around the edges, just run my knife around the sides, and it looks much prettier if I can tip it onto a plate. If it falls apart, it still tastes good. So we'll see what we have here. Again, hot pan, So I'll lift it out like that. And look at that. It came out quite well. Not quite as smooth as a lot of custards, but still looks pretty good. All right, as far as tasting goes, I think we're going to start by tasting the rice pudding because it's been sitting while the custard cooked and won't be quite as hot. These can be served warm or cold. This is just a great way to use up some leftover rice. If you look at the spoonful there, you've got like a custardy mix with those rice pieces. And I'm really glad to put the cinnamon in right away when we cooked it. As for the custard, take a little bite here. It's just a delicious light dessert, and the caramel that we made on the stove really comes through with excellent flavor in this custard. So, the last two things you can make in a rice cooker as we wrap up our series on many ways to put a rice cooker to use. Dessert. And there we have our rice pudding. See the rice? And our custard.